A new memoir by former World News Now anchor Kendis Gibson depicts a workplace culture at ABC News fraught with alleged hazing, bullying, and racism, which he alleges contributed to a suicide attempt. Gibson's book, 5 Trips, An Investigative Journey into Mental Health, Psychedelic Healing and Saving a Life, chronicles his nearly 5-year journey experimenting with illegal drugs to combat mental health issues, including depression, panic attacks, and suicidal ideation, which he claims was amplified while working at ABC. In 2014, Gibson started his dream job as a correspondent at ABC News, recounting that he received a heartwarming reception from the Good Morning America bunch, Robin Roberts, Michael Strahan and George Stephanopoulos, the top talent at the network. Gibson described the moment as his official anointing by the queen of the show, adding, "She couldn't have been nicer and more genuine on and off camera." But off-air, an unnamed black correspondent at the Disney-owned network forewarned, "Welcome to Mickey's plantation." When Gibson asked for more info, he claims he was told, "You'll find out." Although the other correspondent was being tongue-in-cheek, Gibson told Page 6, "The sense I got from them was that it was in reference to veiled racism, and there was some truth to what was behind it." Gibson was originally hired at the network's Washington, D.C. bureau in 2014. Within a year, he moved to the West Coast bureau in Los Angeles, and then ultimately landed in New York, where he took over the overnight World News Now anchor desk from T.J. Holmes. The challenging overnight gig, often ignored by network brass, is a sort of rite of passage for on-air talent vying for prime positions on flagship shows like World News Tonight and Good Morning America. The taxing job has launched the careers of David Muir, Holmes, and Juju Chung at ABC. But the post is also known for its revolving door of anchors eventually requesting exits for various reasons, with various health issues topping the list, Gibson says. 19 co-anchors during the course of my time there, he told us. Gibson admits there was an underlying depression already there when he took the gig. But he claims it got progressively worse during his last 2 years hosting the show. He claims that, unlike other anchors, bosses ignored his pleas to come off the desk despite the impact it was having on his mental health. He alleges it became so overwhelming, he started relying on Ambien to deal with insomnia and anxiety. Still, unable to say no to assignments, he spent several years trying to perform at the top of the game, at an overnight show, and, during the day. It was just a lot, and the network was not listening to me at all, he alleged. Additionally, he claims he dealt with covert racism, like the time a boss phoned to berate him for wearing jeans on air. Gibson alleges the exec told him, "You're doing television news now, not attending a rap concert. Don't ever wear jeans again." He would later find out, he alleges, that the now-fired exec had suggested he was worth less than toilet paper during a meeting. "I was so naive. I had rose-colored glasses on. I didn't think there was racism taking place. I didn't see all the indications," he alleges. Gibson believes the exec also retaliated against him after he helped spearhead a diversity task force to encourage management to hire more black employees in senior positions. He claims his appearances on GMA went from 212 hits within his first 2 years before the task force was created, down to 8. 2 years after the first meeting with management. After returning home from anchoring the overnight newscast, he chased 2 Ambien with 2 glasses of Chardonnay, and cried himself to sleep. He woke up hours later, after his then-partner had left for work, resigned to killing himself. Gibson texted his former partner his goodbye, approached the window in his kitchen, and prepared to jump. Ironically, the Ambien and booze he consumed to numb himself earlier kicked in, and sent him backwards onto the kitchen floor. He woke up with his BFF, Mike Woods, whom his partner had texted earlier, looking over him. Woods carried him to bed and hours later staged an intervention with the anchor's closest friends, including his World News Now colleague, Diane Macedo. Gibson says he returned to the anchor desk mere hours after the suicide attempt, and also started seeing a therapist, who prescribed depression and anxiety meds, the following morning.